Change these 7 behaviors and increase your bank account.
Andrew Carnegie used to say something that made people uncomfortable. Your bank account does not show how hard you work. It shows how much you respect yourself. He watched men work 12 hours a day and stay broke. And he watched others work less and build fortunes. What changed was not effort. It was behavior. Carnegie saw this his entire life. Business owners, employees, investors, leaders. Some rose, others stayed stuck. And after decades of watching, he realized something simple and brutal. Money does not go to those who want it. It goes to those who act like they deserve it. And 7 behaviors separated those two groups. Behavior 1. They treat time like money. Most people live as if time were endless. They wake up without a plan. They spend the day reacting. And at night they wonder why nothing changed. The wealthy do the opposite. Every hour must justify its existence. They ask, will this move me closer to what I am building? If the answer is no, they refuse. Carnegie said wasting time is worse than losing money. Money can be recovered. Time cannot. Whoever controls time controls wealth. Behavior 2. They delay pleasure. Most people buy things to escape anxiety. Food, shopping, entertainment, travel. The wealthy tolerate discomfort. They prefer investing over spending, building over impressing. They say no today so they can say yes tomorrow. And that ability to wait creates financial freedom. Behavior 3. They never ask for less than they are worth. Many people accept less out of fear. Fear of losing, fear of rejection, fear of seeming difficult. Carnegie said whoever charges little teaches the world to treat them as little. The wealthy do not beg. They position themselves. They know the value they bring. And the market responds to those who respect themselves. Behavior 4. They choose their environment carefully. Carnegie believed the mind is contagious. If you are surrounded by negative people, you learn to think small. If you are surrounded by builders, you begin to build. The wealthy protect what enters their mind. They choose who they talk to, what they watch, what they listen to, because all of it shapes decisions. Behavior 5. They decide quickly. Poor people hesitate. Wealthy people act. Carnegie said indecision costs more than mistakes. Those who decide learn. Those who wait stay stuck. Movement creates opportunity. Behavior 6. They turn goals into commitments. Wanting changes nothing. Commitment changes everything. The wealthy write their goals, track their numbers, hold themselves accountable. They do not live on dreams. They live on plans. Behavior 7. They think like owners. Even when they are employees, they think like business owners. They ask, how does this grow? How does this scale? How does this become a system? Salaries end. Systems do not. Carnegie said no one becomes wealthy by accident. Wealth is built first in the mind, then in behavior, and only later in the bank. Change how you use your time, how you spend, how you decide, how you position yourself, how you choose people, how you set goals, how you think, and your bank account will follow. Because money always follows behavior. Carnegie saw this every day. He watched men complain that the market was unfair, that customers were difficult, that the economy was bad. But when he looked closer, he saw something else. People who arrived late, who did not study, who did not position themselves, who accepted anything out of fear, and then wondered why they never moved forward. Carnegie said the world does not reward intention. It rewards patterns. If you act like someone average, you get average results. If you act like someone valuable, the market begins to treat you that way. That is why he focused so much on behavior. You can read every book, take every course, have every dream. But if your daily behavior does not change, nothing changes. Wealth is the side effect of invisible discipline. How you respond when no one is watching. When you invest instead of spend. When you learn instead of complain. When you step forward instead of hide. These small choices create a pattern. And the pattern creates the bank account. Carnegie also said most people sabotage their own growth for one simple reason. They want comfort before they earn it, results before they change, money before discipline, recognition before consistency. But the market does not work that way. It pays those who become useful, those who solve problems, those who create value. And creating value requires those 7 behaviors. When you treat time as capital, you become rare. When you delay pleasure, you gain power. When you defend your value, you change how you are treated. When you choose the right environments, your mind expands. When you decide quickly, you escape stagnation. When you commit to goals, you gain direction. When you think like an owner, you build something that grows without you. And the most important truth, Carnegie said wealth does not come from what you want. It comes from what you tolerate. If you tolerate lateness, you get delay. If you tolerate little, you get little. If you tolerate disorder, you get chaos. But when you demand more from yourself, the world responds. Your bank account does not change because you wish. It changes when you behave like someone who builds wealth. That is how Andrew Carnegie rose from poverty and built one of the greatest empires in history. Not by luck, by behavior. And when you change those 7 behaviors, money has no choice. It follows. Because money always moves toward clarity. It flows to people who know what they want, what they are worth, and where they are going. Carnegie believed that confusion repels wealth. Uncertainty creates hesitation, and hesitation keeps people trapped. That is why the wealthy are obsessed with structure. They organize their time. They organize their finances. They organize their goals. Order creates momentum, and momentum creates income. Carnegie used to say that chaos is expensive. Disorganization costs more than bad luck ever could. When someone cannot manage their own habits, they cannot manage large amounts of money. Wealth demands responsibility. That is why so many people who suddenly win money end up losing it. Their behavior never changed. Only the numbers did. Carnegie understood that before a person can hold wealth, they must become someone who deserves to hold it. That transformation happens quietly, in daily decisions, in private discipline, in how someone behaves when no one is watching. The world never sees those moments, but money does. Carnegie often said that your future income is being built by the habits you practice today, not by your dreams, not by your excuses, but by your standards. When your standards rise, your life rises. And that was the real secret behind his empire. Not steel, not factories, not deals, but behavior /